Panasonic very recently released the Lumix S1H, which is the first hybrid camera that is Netflix compliant. That's not super important to me, but what does matter is what comes in this box and how do we initially feel about it? Let's find out. What's up everyone, I'm the Everyday Dad, and if I can figure it out, you can figure it out. So I am, without any doubt, a huge Panasonic fanboy, and so when they released a camera that was supposed to be better in just about every way than my beloved GH5 that we're recording on right now, I had to get it, and you know, I got it on Christmas Day where I'm still in my onesie. Check it out. I was just so excited. I came down here and we have to unbox it immediately so that I can start playing with it because I can't take it anymore. So let's get into the box. And I do, really quickly, let's close this box again because Panasonic, good job on the packaging. Like the S1 had fantastic packaging, this S1H has fantastic packaging, and really quickly, before we crack this box open, nobody is sponsoring this video, nobody sent me this, I paid for this full price out of my own pocket as like a Christmas present to myself. So let's crack this box open. What do we have? This looks like, it's so nice, so many things, but I don't want to break it. I don't want to break it. I bet this is the accessory case. This is in fact the accessory case. So here, we'll move you out of the way. Let's show you all what cool accessories we get with the camera, and we continue to get Lumix. I love you guys. You keep including battery chargers, whereas other brands, Sony, do not. But is this the same like battery style charger as on the S1? Okay, temper that enthusiasm for the battery charger with the fact that it takes 1, 2, okay, here's the battery. We'll get to the battery in a second. 3, 4, okay, so 5 pieces if you include the battery to charge the battery. I do kind of wish that this right here, the actual battery charger itself, just kind of had that flip thing that just plugs straight into the wall instead of needing 2 cables, an adapter. What is this? An efficiency level, an AC adapter with a wall plug and the battery. I do kind of wish all that. But let's check out the battery now. One of the things I am kind of disappointed in is this will not work with my GH5 batteries, but it is a much bigger battery to power the much more powerful camera. And this is a, look at this, 3050 milliamp hour battery. That's nuts. Like I'm okay with it because I guarantee this battery will last multiple days of the kind of shooting that I do. Ooh, but here's the important one, the strap. Now, I want you to leave me a comment below. Do you use the strap that comes with your cameras? I know I keep saying I'm going to, and then I never do, but I love hearing whether you guys do or not. And it's always like 50-50 inside of the comments, but this strap, that feels amazing. It's got like a rubberized grip here on the back. That just feels darn good. And maybe, since this is like the most expensive camera I own, maybe we'll start using the strap to be like, we'll start using the, you know, I'm in a onesie, like how more embarrassing can you get, right? My wife got me the onesie, by the way, so I had to wear it. We've got a time sync cable, which I will literally never use because I don't use time sync, but hooray for having it. We've got another USB-A to USB-C cable. Again, I will probably never use it, and an HDMI clamp, which I'm happy about. But the thing is, it's always the companies that like, you don't need the extra security for your HDMI port, like Panasonic, because they do full HDMI. I never end up using these, whereas brands like Sony, like the A7 III that's recording us up here, doesn't include these, and they use micro HDMI, which sucks. I kind of wish they had done that. So let's put all of this stuff over here. We will start charging the battery here in a second. What is in this box? I bet this is the paperwork, because you always gotta have that paperwork, right? And I love brands, thank you brands, that continue to promote literacy by having these manuals that I will probably, actually, fairness for fairness sakes, I'll probably read this one because this camera looks like it has so many functions and it shoots in 6K that I'll probably end up reading how to use this a little bit. So here's English, here is Spanish, here is the S line of lenses with the, ooh, it even comes with a roadmap. No other brand has ever given me, no other brand, any cameras that I buy, they do not normally include a roadmap. So I appreciate this because one of the things, right, like this is a brand new lens mount for Lumix. Normally they do micro four thirds stuff, but they're telling you like, look, here's when we're sending out lenses. So that is, I also really like that. The warranty card is over there, instructional manual that we will check out later, but it's time for the show. Why are we all here? I mean, heck, this is why I'm here, for the camera. Man, it's heavy. It's so heavy. This is a big boy. The S1 was a big camera. And the S1H, look at that thing. That is glorious. Man, it is gigantic though. It is gigantic, but man, that feels good in the hand. Look at all those buttons. We got a mode dial here on the side that I'm really excited about. I am not as excited about this. It looks like they kept the scroll dial from the S1. I don't really like this as much. I like the one from the GH5 way better, but I mean, space is at a premium. We got the joystick. We've got the focus selector, quick menu button, dual SD card slots instead of like on the S1 where it had SD and XQD. Man, that feels pretty good in the hand too. It doesn't feel... The GH5 is one of my favorite feeling cameras of all time to handhold. The EOS R is my favorite. This does not feel as good as either, but it is like, look at, it's a brick. Like, it's trying to fit an awful lot of technology into a hybrid style camera, so I can appreciate what kind of sacrifices they needed to make. There's another record button, so there's 2 record buttons. We've got 2 custom buttons on the front, and the most important, that big, beautiful, full frame sensor that shoots 6K. We won't use 6K because 6K is only 24 frames per second. 24 frames per second is gross, and for all of the filmmakers out there, yeah, I'm gonna be shooting this in 30 frames per second. I like 30 frames per second. But the sensor looks beautiful, the sync port that we're never gonna use, the buttons feel great. Let's check out the coolest thing, full frame camera with a fully articulating touchscreen. But it doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop there, because look, it's articulated back, right? Well, what if you're a still shooter? I don't want to break it the first time I do this. Look at that. It does both, where it tilts up like a Sony camera, but it also flips out if you want to see yourself all in front of the camera. And I think that's a really nice solution to the both of them, because as I've been using my A7 III more for photos, I do, you know, even though I'm a YouTuber, I do like when the screen tilts up like this, because it's much easier when because I like doing a lot of low angle shots for my thumbnails, and I do like that. So being able to have both, it's almost like cheating. It's almost like cheating. Man, this feels good. I really like this display. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna charge the battery real quick and play around with the menus on the inside. So, okay, and we're back. We've got the battery. We were able to charge it for a little bit because it is Christmas, and we have been messing with some of the toys. We got the Everyday Kid, and look at that. It even shows you the battery level. Can you see that? It shows you the battery level display without the camera being turned on. Ooh, and that on switch. I like this on switch. That's right, it has a different on switch. The S1 had a switch that was like right here that I didn't like as much, but check that out. It's also showing me the audio. That's awesome. So I do really like LCD displays on the top of the camera. I don't like that old school like analog look, but I really like this new digital look. Can you guys see that? I really like that new digital look. And this one seems to be like, you don't even really need the screen because it shows you everything from on top of the camera. ISO, do we get to see any of that stuff from on top? White balance, maybe when we turn it on, but that's really cool. So we've got the camera on. We do not wish to change the setting. So let's check out the menus, because one of the things that Panasonic always does right is their menu system. And there's so much stuff going on here that these menus are a lot more complicated than anything they've ever had before, just because of how much stuff this camera can do. That's what I'm so excited for. And one of the reasons I think I'm gonna end up reading that gigantic manual is, even though, so I've been using the GH5 for 18 months now, almost 18 months, the GH5 has been like my primary camera, even though we've cycled a whole bunch of other cameras through here, so many cameras. The GH5 is what I'm most familiar with and what I'm most comfortable using. And this has so much more than that. I mean, look at that. We've already got it in manual mode, which is great. Something that I am really excited about and we'll do during the vlogging test when we go outside to vlog with this $4,000 camera, because why not? Is the vlog. So I normally like Canon log, and that's the only log format I'll record in. If you don't know what log's a very flat picture profile that makes it so when you grade it later, you get more dynamic range out of it. And this has Panasonic's legitimate vlog from their VariCam line, like their professional cinema cameras. The GH5 has vlog L, which is a less intensive profile. So this has everything that you could actually want. So what we're gonna do, I did also buy the Lumix 24-105 lens. I bought this open boxed on Amazon to be my S1H lens, and this is also a big lens. And we've already talked about this during the S1, so we're not gonna talk about this so much, but let's pop this lens on here and see what we got going on. Oh, it's so big. Look at that. Look at how big that thing is. This is not a camera for the faint of heart because this is a huge camera, huge lens. It's probably gonna live inside of the studio most times. Stop. And then, okay, so this is an indoor video test of the Lumix S1H. Again, this is everything you just saw from the GH5, and you can see that I'm just kind of hand holding it right here, and this thing is heavy. This is a heavy rig, but it's set to auto ISO. It's set to, It's set to manual movie mode, I believe, and this is in 4K, 30 frames per second. We're shooting in vlog, that full vlog I was talking about, and we just dropped the nicest LUT. That's what they call it. It's not like, I didn't search through the LUTs and was like, wow, this one looks like the nicest. It's from the VariCam line. It's called their nicest LUT, and that's what we dropped over top of it. I didn't touch anything else. That's how good the image quality is out of this camera, I hope. But yeah, this is the indoor studio test. We're at 24 millimeters, which is true 24 millimeters, because at 4K, this does not crop in any way, shape, or form, which is amazing. How's the stabilization look? Oh, I can't wait to try this out some more. I cannot wait to try this camera out some more, but it is heavy and my arm is shaking like crazy. You guys know what that looks like. Let me know if you think this stabilization is great because my shoulder, okay. That's all we can get out of the shoulder here. The everyday dad shoulder is about to fall apart, but what we're gonna do next, we're gonna take this, like I said, we're gonna take this, this is like a $5,000 rig right here. We're gonna hop outside, use it for vlogging, because if you've got a camera that's Netflix compliant, you gotta vlog your life in Netflix approved image quality, right? See you out there. And welcome to the vlogging test of the Lumix Panasonic S1H. Now we're doing something a little bit different than I normally do in vlogging tests, so I actually already recorded this vlogging test, and I'll overlay some of that footage as we go, but I was doing some tests on the S1H, just like messing around in the basement, and we're currently recording in the vlog profile, and this is the image quality that you get out of that, and it's crazy. Like, I've never in my life gotten dynamic range like this before. This camera's for real. Like, this is crazy. Like, I cannot believe, like, we are in direct sunlight. There's the sun right there. We are in direct sunlight. Like, it is harsh. It is terrible lighting right now. But the dynamic range in the S1H it's legitimate. And we're in continuous video autofocus. So let me know if you see, like, is the background pulsing at all? I can't, I mean, you guys can tell, I can't, but let me know how the continuous autofocus is working. We're just using the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus right now, and we're wandering around. Here's the stabilization, 4K 30 with aperture priority modes. I assume the motion blur is gonna be kind of bad, but I don't have a 77mm filter yet. So we're kind of, we're cheesing it a little bit. But yeah, this is the image quality. This is the vlogging test. What would you guys like to see out of the S1H? Leave me a comment below. And if you liked this video, I bet you'd like to see how you could use like the Panasonic GH5, which I think is, it was the perfect camera before this, but it's way cheaper. It's like a third cheaper than this thing. So you can see that video by clicking right here. Thanks for watching.